Hello, I'm Grady Johnson. I'm the group publisher of SC Biz News. And welcome to the SC Biz News 2020 Roaring Twenties, an annual celebration of South Carolina's fastest growing companies. This year's event obviously isn't going to be where it normally is. We can't celebrate together as we normally do, so we're virtually visiting with each company to talk about how they've grown and prospered in what has become one of the most crazy years in everyone's recent memory. Roaring Twenties is a joint venture between Cherry Bekaert Accounting, Sunbelt Business Brokers, Synovus Bank, Doubletree by Hilton Columbia, and SC Biz News. To qualify for consideration, a company must have a physical presence in South Carolina. Companies can be nominated by a third party or they can self-nominate. Both for-profit and nonprofit organizations are eligible. The only exceptions are government entities and charitable companies, including those designated as 501c3. Companies are analyzed according to revenue data submitted by each of them to SC Biz News, which then sends the data to Cherry Bekaert for verification. Data is analyzed based on a preset formula that considers percentage and gross revenue growth within the past year to make comparisons as fair as possible. Rankings are divided into small and large categories. Companies with revenue of $10 million or less comprise the small category, and those with revenue greater than $10 million comprise the large. Please join us as we honor these 40 successful companies from across our state.
Cherry Bekaert is a provider of assurance, tax, and advisory services ranked among the top 25 U.S. branded accounting firms. Cherry Bekaert helps our clients make decisions to achieve their goals. We are expanding our footprint and capabilities to help our clients face a future with confidence. We stay abreast of key industry trends to ensure a deep understanding of context for your business. We are committed to making a difference for our clients, our people, our communities, and our profession. We are here to be your guide forward.
Here is where we're from. Here made us who we are. Here is where we learn relationships are worth more than dollars can measure. It's a value that grows over time, strengthens under pressure, and thrives when serving others. We're Synovus, and we're here for our community because we live here too. Synovus, the bank of here.
And now I'd like to introduce, from Cherry Bekaert, Managing Partner, Mark Cooter.
All right, we're joined in the small company category by Pintail Capital. We're joined by Ross Kester and Penn Williams from Pintail. So Ross, tell us a little bit about what's happened that's achieved some of this great growth you guys have had in the last year.
We were very focused on adding a zero this year, and that's really been our company mantra. And you know what that means to us is if we're looking at product type that we may have been selling for $1.5 million last year, this year we're focused on product that's $15 million, and that's caused us to change the way we look at the properties we're prospecting, the relationships we're pursuing, and our client relationships. But we've been very intentional about it, and our team has done an incredible job shifting towards that concept of adding a zero, and I think it's really delivered great results for our company, our team.
That's great, and some great markets to do that, to add that extra zero.
Yes.
So great. Penn, tell me a little bit about what are 3 things you maybe give another business that's trying to either add those zeros or to achieve some of the growth that you guys have had in the last year?
Yeah, absolutely. One, I would say, is to be flexible. We all put some work at the end of each year on a business plan for the following year. Certainly when we started the company, we did the same thing, but that business plan is a living document. It will change, and you have to kind of be prepared for that. 2020 is certainly a case in point. We have all changed our plans, I think, to react to an unusual year that we didn't expect. So certainly be flexible. Another would be to hire great people. As we have grown from 4 people to currently 12, our focus has really shifted to focus on the team and making sure they have the resources that they need and the ability to grow and maximize their potential and thereby maximize Pintail and help us to grow and do that together. So
Good.
2 key pieces of what we do.
All right. Ross, how did the name come about?
It's kind of a funny story, and this has been 5 years ago now. It's our 5th year in business, sitting around with our branding team, Rim Galloway Totem Brands. We kind of reached an impasse on the naming. We couldn't figure out where we want to go, what we want to do with it, and she said, "Guys, let's stop and think about what's the one thing that you three like to do for fun?" And we all said, "We love duck hunting." She said, "Well, what's the coolest duck?" We said, "A pintail." And she was like, "Oh, wait a second, we're on to something here." And really it aligns well with our company culture. The pintail's the most sought after duck in North America. It's sleek, it's agile, it's graceful in flight. And we really try to bring those attributes to our client-centric service model, where all of our focus is on our clients, and we're nimble, agile, entrepreneurial, and really hope to deliver an unparalleled commercial real estate experience for our clients.
Great. Well, thank you. That was Pintail Capital. Up next in our small company category, we have Kantech Consulting, and with us today is Ravi. So, Ravi, congratulations on the nomination.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the company. What do you attribute the success of the sales to?
Well, so we're in the IT business, and we've been in it now for almost 14 years, going into our 13th year now, and started in Charleston, and we expanded across the state. Growth for us this year has really been Columbia and Greenville. We've opened 2 new offices. We've hired folks up here. We've got people coming in from the technology side and engineering, and the Greenville community Upstate's really taken us in, and it's gone really well.
Great. Well, you mentioned some changes with your team. So what have you all done with your team to help promote some of that success?
Yeah, so obviously we're in the IT business, and so finding good IT people is not easy. Greenville's been a great place for us to do that because it is an engineering and manufacturing town, and there's a high tech talent here. And so we've been able to capture that. And regardless of where our folks reside, we cover folks regardless of where they are. And so across the state, across the United States, we've done a really good job. And so we've taken advantage of the tech community here and done really well with it.
That's great. So with everything going on in 2020, have you all had to pivot your business model or do anything different this year to continue your growth?
Yeah, just like everyone else, we've had to really take a look at the things that our clients are going through right now with the changes that they're making because of COVID, and how do you engage with folks when they're in crisis mode. And so we've had to have a lot of empathy in how we do that. It's not all about how you go find a deal and all that. It's really about ensuring that you understand what they want, what their needs are. Some of the things have changed a little bit. A lot of folks are working from home, so how do we manage that type of workforce? And so we've been able to really put some good information out to folks in how to deal with the COVID situation from an IT standpoint, and we think we've done a good job in supporting those people.
Okay, well, congratulations on the growth, and hope to see you soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we're into our large category and want to welcome Triangle Construction. So we have Charlie and William here with us today. So what do you guys sort of attribute some of your success to? How did y'all grow the revenue that led to your introduction to the Roaring Twenties?
We went through a process a few years ago to kind of try to figure out what the key sections of our industry were that we had a lot of success with over the past several years. And through that process, we kind of identified the 3 or 4 sectors, market sectors that we really had the most profit percentages out of and had just been the most successful at signing those projects and those clients up. And once we did that, we really focused hard on the existing clients we had in those market sectors and developing new ones through different organizations like ULI that I know we've been in before together, and through our existing architects and engineer relationships. Okay.
How have you all sort of had to build up your team in order to meet that demand? You mentioned certain market segments. Did you have to change your team much in order to meet those market segments?
We didn't. We have a pretty diverse team already, just because we've been in business since 1947. So during all that time, we've kind of touched all parts of our industry and different sectors. So we had a lot of that experience. It was just taking the existing team that we had and really kind of focusing those guys that were really good in, say, multifamily are really good in the healthcare sector or industrial, and kind of do that. And there was some build up. We did have to bring in some new people. In a company like ours, we have a lot of people that are starting to get to the retirement age and starting to plan that retirement. And so for us, it was bringing in some younger, fresh blood that could learn under those guys before they do retire, and try to be strategic about that, so that they had time to learn under them before they do. So we're kind of transitioning, not really growing so much number-wise with employees, but trying to maintain that set point that we're at.
Well,
I'll just add on, one of the big things we try to do is just, one, find good people to work for us, and we want to work for good people, so we're extremely picky about clients we work for and making sure that we're a right fit for the project. And I think ultimately, if you can steer away from bad projects and only have good projects, it just multiplies, your success, because you can put all your efforts on projects that are profitable and fun to be a part of.
Well, congratulations on that success. It sounds like you all done a great job on steering toward those projects of your strategic plan. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to one of our large company winners, Canty Foundation Specialist. Enjoy this brief clip about this fastest growing company.
Fun fact, my dad sings the worst songs ever.
The main driver of this year's revenue growth is just a great team that understands when you have to buckle down and make tough decisions and get things done. Our industry has changed in that people are actually home a lot more than they used to be, and they're seeing problems that maybe they didn't notice before, or they're just realizing, hey, I might as well just go ahead and get this taken care of. So our industry has changed a good bit in that manner, because people are fixing problems that maybe they would have ignored in the past.
For them to make money, tell them to make their own money.
I don't really disagree with Els there. Always make a profit. You can't stay in business without a profit. Take care of your team and hire great people. My approach to leadership has just changed as I evolve. I'm a big believer in self-growth, self-improvement, and as I evolve myself, my leadership tends to evolve as well, which is normally good for everyone.
Next up in our small company category is Lee & Associates. We're joined by Randall. Randall, congratulations on a great year.
Thank you very much.
We're heading well into 2020 at this point.
Yes.
A lot has changed in 2020. Tell me how you guys are sort of pivoting, or what you are having to change as things are sort of unfolding.
Okay. Well, honestly, we are having probably one of our best years ever. If everything works out in the real estate business, that you got to close them, not just have them under contract. One of the things that's helped us with our success is last year we opened a small office in Spartanburg. So we have 3 brokers there. We have 9 where we are in Greenville based. So that's helped us with some of our growth. We've been very blessed to have some of the best projects that we have ever worked on, because we've helped bring some industrial product to Greenville County and right on 385. And so with those things, which there's been a demand, but the product hadn't been introduced, we're having the opportunity to work on several of those.
Great. Well, congratulations on another year. We'll probably see you here next year as well.
Thank you.
If there were 3 things that you wanted to pass along to another business owner, what would you say those are in order to help them manage through some of these times, or to manage through some of the good times you guys have had?
Okay. I think the first thing I'd say is you got to stay positive. I'm an optimist, and so I always think the sun's going to come up and there's going to be a better day than there was yesterday. I think one philosophy It's never the right time to do the wrong thing. It's never the wrong time to do the right thing. And that always has paid dividends for me in this business and in my business career. And then third is just good people. We have a great team. They work hard. They will do the right thing every time, and that's our culture, and that has paid us well as well.
Great. Well, congratulations again,
Okay.
and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're excited to be here with Maven Construction in the large company category. I'm with Todd and DJ. Welcome, guys, and congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Well, so first question, I wanted to ask, what do you attribute in your personal leadership? How has that changed with the growth of the company? Obviously, you've achieved a lot of growth. How has your personal leadership changed in the company?
For me personally, it's been a challenge just to continue to grow and accountability side to it. That in order to help lead the team, we have to continue to improve and get better and learn, and just seek outside opinions from those we can that are around us. And so it's really just an awareness for me personally and a continued urgency on the growth.
And I think the one thing that we have learned is that we don't know everything. So we've intentionally set up a leadership team, and the leadership team is comprised of folks within the organization that help us, set the strategy and make informed, sage decisions as we encounter obstacles along the way. So
Sure. How's some of that strategy changed in the last year with everything going on in 2020?
Well, we don't see anybody anymore. That's probably the first part. And so I think that was a challenge for us, and just how we manage more remotely, and just to maintain the culture that we've built and enjoyed over the past 8 years, to really have a challenge like this that it becomes harder to maintain and cultivate. And so we've had to be very intentional recently just to start to re-engage the group and ensure that culture is still as strong as it was.
I think, a lot of what we do is partnering type of work, and I think we're seeing more and more competitive environment, and so we're having to put more of a focus on marketing than maybe we have historically. And so this is a great opportunity to market us, and so we're thankful for that.
Well, great. Well, congratulations on y'all's growth, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Up next, we're going to talk to Langston Construction in the large company category. So guys, Evan, Jim, congratulations on your nomination. So what are you guys attributing some of the growth to that you've had recently over the last year?
Well, we've been very fortunate. We've had a lot of good opportunities to look at several challenging projects over the last few years, and our employees have been able to deliver and meet the expectations of our owners, and that in turn has developed into repeat work. A large portion of it is also due to our strategic planning that we've been doing for over the course of a decade, identifying potential market segments and the type of work that we want to pursue. And the fact that most of our employees have bought into that plan and are willing to put in the work to make sure it's successful, has probably been the biggest contributor.
How did you guys put your team together to meet that growth? How did you identify what team members you needed to sort of meet those growth demands?
We already had a great team here with people in key positions, and we were able to go out and hire in the market segment from other companies, and we also promoted internally, and we're able to fill some of the positions that require a little less talent. So that's really been how we've been able to grow the company so far.
So you mentioned your strategic plan earlier. How have you guys had to pivot that plan or change that plan with 2020 and COVID and everything else going on? Are y'all still on track with that plan?
We are. We've had to adapt in how we manage projects. There's a lot more virtual meetings, a lot more teleconferences. We've tried to include different technologies to facilitate on-site inspections and other measures that we need to ensure that we're delivering a quality product. And so, you know, we're able to continue to meet the objectives of our owner by implementing those procedures quickly and being flexible with some of their new policies that we may need to adhere to. Because at the end of the day, you know, we've got to be flexible and adapt and ensure that we're meeting all the requirements that our owners expect of us on the projects we're working on.
Great. Well, congratulations, guys. Great success, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations to Crawford Strategy, one of our winners in the small company category. Here's some information about this fast-growing company.
Ten years after founding Crawford, we are not nearly as owner-centric as we once were. I knew I always wanted a full-service agency because that's what clients need. They need the ability to have all of our services in one place. I brought tremendous expertise in the field of PR and communications, but I knew I needed other talent around me to help deliver that value for our clients. Today, we have a really talented executive leadership team that helps round out the skills that we need to lead this company. Our executive leadership team is Andy Wyndham, who's our President and Chief Strategy Officer, Andrea Stegall, who is our SVP and Chief Operating Officer, and Al Mertens, who is our SVP of Corporate Growth. And together, we are able to navigate the challenges and the opportunities that come with any growing business. What's great is that our leadership doesn't stop at the top. We have developed a group of what we call supervisors who have embraced the opportunity to hone their leadership skills, and they have truly helped make Crawford the great company that it is.
Culture is really important to us at Crawford. We're looking for people who are hungry, humble, and smart. Our core values and our commitment to them are very important. They actually help us maintain the great employees that we have today and compel others to really want to work with us. Everyone wants to be part of an organization that promotes a positive attitude, flexibility, quality work, are responsible, and most of all, respects each other.
Gosh, our industry changes constantly, almost minute by minute, but you know, the one area that's probably the most obvious is digital. It's digital. Whether it's websites and content delivery and content consumption, streaming video, it's really all about the digital space. The critical thing is to have a team that can embrace that and adapt to that literally almost on a minute-by-minute basis, and that's what we do. We bring the latest innovations and the latest techniques to our clients to help them succeed. So it's really the best plan to adapt is to have a team in place to be able to do that, and that's the way we do it.
We have a very competitive Halloween costume contest that everybody gets totally dressed up for. And we award prizes, and we get really spooky trophies that you get to display on your desk for the following year. At Crawford, we take Halloween very seriously. We put a lot of time, energy, passion, and creativity into our costumes and our costume contest. And we try to put that same drive and passion and creativity into the work that we do for our clients and the relationships that we have with them.
All right, we're back again, and we're with Paul in the small company category of Upstate Granite Solutions. So, Paul, what do you attribute some of the growth that you've had that got you the nomination?
I guess I would say probably the primary thing would be our staff and their level of customer care. It's been proven that our customers are very eager to work with us because we're not aggressive in the sales side of things. We take more of an educational experience for the customers, bringing them through the process and kind of educating them along. A lot of our customers come in not knowing where to start or what questions to even ask. So we try to kind of take them through that process and make it very simple for them.
Okay, how many staff do you have over there?
Right now we have 25 full-time employees.
Okay, great. Well, with 2020 and the outcome that's happened with the new pandemic, have you had to change your approach at all with customers?
Initially, we were not sure how this was going to play out. So we started taking precautions, cleaning things, and trying to keep social distancing like most places did. And we saw a little bit of a lull during the shutdown with our actual walk-in traffic. But that's picked back up, and a lot of our builder businesses stayed very consistent. And now we're seeing record weeks and months with our customer walk-in traffic, and even with our builders. It's not really slowed down much at all for us. Even through the shutdown, we stayed very consistent with our installations, but did see a little bit of a lull in our walk-in traffic, but that's since come and gone.
Great. Well, as founder of the company, what are some of maybe 3 things that you would tell another founder or business owner getting their start right now?
You know, I started this company on my back porch because I needed countertops in my own house. So I had never touched this stuff before. I did some research, and basically I couldn't afford what others were offering at the time, and I just retired from the military and just moved back to the Upstate. So you know, basically I created my own solution to my problems, and then I started helping others create solutions for their problems. So that's kind of one of our driving goals, is to be a solution finder for people and help them, whether it's a special color, a need, a time frame, pricing. We try to match that need for them and be their solution. And then second of all, I would say just outstanding customer service. Giving our customers the red carpet experience is, again, a real goal of ours, and our whole team has bought into that. And that's, I think, what's given a lot of our success. You know, we can accredit it to our desire to be the highest level customer service possible. So there's 2. I don't know if I can think of a third one, but is 2 enough?
Well, that's
enough?
okay. Your
All right.
success is alone. 2 is good. So, well, congratulations on your growth, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much.
We're back, and up next in the large company category is Logisticus Group. So welcome, guys. I've got Will and Vikash with me today. So what do you guys attribute the sales to and your large revenue growth over the last year that attributed to your nomination?
Well, you know, this is something we've really been building on. Some momentum we generated early on has been building over the past couple of years as the team has grown. We've gotten very active in the renewable space, so as the country has really shifted to renewables, we've been well positioned to take advantage of it.
Okay, that's great. And so with your team, you mentioned your team. How have y'all had to build out your team to answer this growth that y'all have had?
I think the major concern we've had to address is scalability. So making sure that we're able to move at the pace our customers are asking us to support their projects, support their business, and making sure that we're able to keep the quality, the bandwidth and such in a way that we can meet our customers' needs without feeling like we're overstretched.
Sure. And so over the course of the last year, what sort of things have y'all had to do to pivot your business or to change, and how are things looking for 2020?
Well, you know, we had an initial scare like everybody did, you know, when everything shut down. We thought our projects were going to shut down, and we were poised to, you know, handle that. Fortunately, our projects were considered essential. We were able to keep everybody working and full speed ahead, and continued to take advantage of some new areas that we're focusing on, like warehousing, that are growing for us in the energy market.
Now, I think what was really interesting is that during this time period, we were actually faced and challenged with growth. We added maybe around 20% on headcount and grew our customer base by almost an equal amount. So whereas everybody was kind of gearing down, we were in a process of actually gearing up. So it was positive in a time period that wasn't so great.
Yeah, well, sounds like we might see you guys here next year. So
We would love to be here.
So congratulations again on your success, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Gen X Security Solutions. Here's a little bit of information about this winner in the small company category.
Hi, I'm Wendy Hikes.
And I'm Adam Hikes.
And we are co-founders of Gen X Security Solutions in Greenville, South Carolina.
Gen X Jerry here. Instead of being out in the field, I want to be interviewing the bosses for the Roaring Twenties Award.
We have been working together for a really long time.
Over 20 years now.
Yep. And we started dating.
We started Gen X Security in the bonus room in my garage in 2003. We had nothing.
Huh?
We had nothing. We were broke.
My brother Luke was in college at the time, and he decided to join the team. Once he joined our team, we were full speed ahead. Cody, who came in as my office assistant, I was pregnant with Sloan, and then us having Sloan and bringing her to the office every single day. And whenever I had to go out on a sales call, she fed Sloan, and she changed her diapers, and she turned the phones down and turned the lights down, and we had nap time.
First one thing is you've got to be relentless.
Relentless.
You can't. Number two, put a team behind you that complements your strengths and weaknesses. Probably the third thing would be
learn from your mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes. Yeah.
They're all cliches.
Don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up.
We are honored to be recognized as part of the 20 fastest growing companies in South Carolina. None of our success would be possible today without our family and team that we've built over the years.
Amen. Cut.
Take. So it's very unique.
It's a unique situation.
We make it work.
We do make it work.
Congratulations to another one of our small company winners, Intellectual Capital. I'm sitting here with Barry and Tracy, so congratulations to you both. I know as co-founders of the company, you all have had a lot of success as of recently. What do you all attribute some of that sales and revenue growth to lately?
Well, I'd say a little bit of grit and a little bit of luck, for sure. Barry's great at sales, and he works really hard to bring that in, and then I just try to manage the money well. So I would say that has been helpful.
A lot of our customers have launched into a lot of enterprise level projects over the last several years, Mark, and so we have been able to serve them through those projects. And so over the last 5 to 6 years, our revenue is really attributed to serving our customer and bringing on new customers and diversifying our customer base. So I would say those are some of the key attributes.
Okay. You mentioned sort of splitting the house a little bit, and as a married couple and also founders of the company, how have you all had to manage through that? What's that been like? So.
We've done it very well.
Good.
Very carefully, I might have said.
Good.
For sure.
We probably realized several years ago that Tracy has certain strengths and I have certain strengths, and so we got some outside counsel from a coach who really strongly suggested to us to let Tracy work in her area of strength and me to work in my area of strength. And so we have tried as best as we can to kind of stay in our lane, but we've also built a really nice outside coaching group who can give us insight from an independent viewpoint. And we also have created a couple of years ago a very strong internal leadership team Tracy and I are on that, along with two of our other key players on the team. And so that has really undergirded our effort to try to divide and conquer, I would say.
Well, that's great advice for any partnership, so appreciate you sharing that. Well, congratulations on your success, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to one of our large company winners, the Office People. Here's a brief clip to learn more about this fast-growing company.
From a garage in Ravenel, South Carolina, to becoming the largest business technology provider in the Southeastern region, we've grown at an unprecedented rate over the past several decades. Our growth can't be boiled down to a secret sauce, but can be attributed to incredible customer experience. Choosing the right business technology is about more than simply selecting the best device. You're also picking an organization that will be implementing, training on, and supporting that equipment. At the Office People, one of our primary goals is to help our customers make the most out of our business technology solutions. Based on thousands of customer engagements, we've developed a keen sense of the kind of training and support that produces results. The outcome is a holistic output strategy customized for each business and the way they use technology. Whether the project is small or large, we work with our customers from the design process to installation and training.
So today, one of our biggest attributes of our company that makes us so successful is our customer experience. When we're dealing with thousands of customers, a lot of companies today will forget about how to take care of a customer. And that's one thing that we've done for many years here at the Office People, is that we go that extra mile to take care of a customer and make sure that first experience on delivering the product, and then the final experience of following up, making sure you build that relationship, making sure everything's running smoothly, productively, and helps saving the company money, is really important to us to make sure that whole experience that they have with us is perfect.
Well, once again, I want to say congratulations to all these great winners. At Cherry Becker, we are honored to help our clients with their accounting and advisory needs, and we are always a part of our clients' innovation and growth. And so it's always exciting to hear these stories and hear more about these other growing companies. So once again, congratulations, and back to you, Grady.
Our next partner that I'd like to introduce from Sunbelt Business Brokers, David Yazbak.
I'm here with Carson with Samet Corporation, and thanks for joining us today, Carson. Good to be here. Tell me a little bit about your revenue driver over the last year. What was some of the things that drove your revenue to such high numbers?
Sure. So we just wrapped up in September our fiscal year, which was a record year for us. Company-wide, we did about $500 million of work in place, which is about 20% more than our budget and what we did last year. So tremendous growth, and I would really attribute a lot of that to just being a big pipeline year. So we were fortunately pretty unaffected by a lot of the challenges that COVID presented, with our industry being essential, and this is the type of vertical work and market sectors that we're in. And so really, kind of a stroke of luck. A lot of things, a lot of projects take a long time to develop and through pre-construction, and we just happened to hit on a big year. And a lot of it is just growth in the Charleston market. We did about $100 million this year in Charleston, in the Charleston region, and a lot of that is just due to reputation over the years that it's been built up through relationships and really just have proven ability to execute. So it's a tough market, tough business, and it's all really is all about relationships.
That's terrific. How are you able to find and attract good talent in the marketplace?
Yeah, that is the challenge, right? It's the big war on talent, and it's the hardest thing to really grow and to the next level and grow at the pace that some of our clients really need us to grow, is finding that talent. And for us, it's really about just maintaining a culture of our associates and our team members. We don't really try to treat them like employees or staff. We try to use even just the terminology we use a little differently in how we want to treat them, and treat them like our clients, really, and really make sure that they all have a good runway, good career path, and really try to accelerate that career trajectory and show them what that looks like. A lot of traditional climbing through the organization, kind of, you use the corporate ladder and analogy, and we kind of see it right now with the growth of our organization as a climbing wall. And so with the climbing wall, there's a lot of opportunities. It's not straight up and down, and sometimes the quickest way to the top may not be, maybe going to another office or taking another route, and really try to work with our associates that way. And I think people see that, and they see that as a differentiator in terms of the type of organizations that they want to work with, and so that does help us in talent development.
Well, it sounds like a great place to work, and thanks for coming in, and congratulations again on being in the Roaring Twenties.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. We're here with Susan with Exacqio. Susan, welcome and congratulations. You're one of the winners in our small business category this year.
Thank you. Really proud and excited to be here.
Well, Susan, I wanted to ask you, if you were giving business advice to a business owner, what 3 important things would you want to tell them?
There's so many things to think about when you're running your own business, but the 3 most important things, one is to be really clear about your vision and purpose. Why are you in business? What are you trying to achieve? And what makes you different from your competitors? Because ultimately that's how you'll succeed. 2 is really evaluating your own ability to take risks. The only way you can grow as a business is to take risks. And that's one of the things that I learned really early on. If you're not willing to take risks, you're not going to grow as quickly as you want. And then 3rd, I think it's really important to recognize that there truly is enough business to go around for everyone. And so if you go in with this mindset of, I'm going to be a part of the community and help others, we've learned, I think, especially in this past year, how important it is to support other business owners, particularly like myself, women business owners, or people of color from diverse groups. I'll mention in particular, I'm wearing jewelry today from 2 local business owners, Lena Rosa Jewelry and Hermosa Jewelry. And I think it's just so important to support each other. And that in and of itself is going to make you really proud to be doing business in a community like where we are here in Charleston, but also across the state of South Carolina.
That's terrific. Thanks. How has your business philosophy changed over the years?
So when we first started, we weren't sure, because our business is so niche, that there would actually be a market for employer brand and recruitment marketing. A decade ago, social media was still in its infancy. People were still using job ads. People in some cases were still using paper resumes. Even the way we apply to jobs technologically was different. Now, employer brand and recruitment marketing is completely burgeoning. The entire journey for a candidate to find and keep a job is online, with so many other offline influences to consider. And we recognize that employment is really important, perhaps the most important business decision you'll ever make for yourself, more important than ever buying a product. And so for us, the philosophy about recognizing the importance of employer brand to the growth of a business, at the end of the day, branding and marketing your employment experience to hire the right talent is essential to growing and running your business, whether you're a small business or you're a Fortune 500. And to help make the case in our industry, that's been a key part of our philosophy changing over the years.
What's an interesting or fun fact that people might not know about your company?
Yeah, so it's been really interesting across the past couple of months with the challenges that the global pandemic and COVID-19 have presented. Exacqio has actually been 100% distributed workforce or virtual workforce since day one. When I started the business, there were two things that were really important to me. I'm a working mom, I have 2 young children, and I recognize that we don't all have to be chained to an office desk. We all do our best work in different ways. I also recognized, unique to my business, that our business is so niche that there was no one city that I could be in that I could find the best talent. So we've had this distributed workforce since day one. Our entire team is remote. We're spread across the US. We do have 3 employees local to Charleston. And then our creative team sits in the UK. And it's really interesting, I think, to understand all of the different tools that we've used and are incredibly practiced in using well before COVID. So we're big champions of the virtual work environment and how it can really work for everyone.
Susan, thanks for meeting with us today, and congratulations again on your award with the Roaring Twenties.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the winners.
Congratulations to Mashburn Construction, one of our winners in the large company category. Check out this video about the company.
So at Mashburn Construction, our mission is to be the builder of choice, the builder of people, and the builder of better communities. And we try to live that mission in everything we do.
It's a family business that my dad started in '76. My 2 brothers and myself have always been in the business. Our cousins and uncles have worked with us mostly at some point in time, and we try to create a family environment here where, you know, longevity is sort of our goal with our employees, to be able to make people happy, make people feel like they're a part of something, and make people feel like they're contributing.
We work very hard on our culture. We have a great culture here, a culture of inclusion. You know, it's about the young people, and it's really about you know, making sure that they know that they have a voice here, and we're a fun company to work for.
Right now we've got around 100 employees, and we're doing a little over 100 million in volume this year.
The growth has really occurred because we're in multiple markets. We are a very diverse contractor. We do a lot of different types of projects. So if the economy is waning in one sector, then we can shore it up with our diverse group of projects.
Well, we're passionate about the communities and passionate about the relationships that we build through the years. I think it's important for us as a company to maintain those relationships and continue, you know, working with the folks that we enjoy working with.
What makes Mashburn special, I believe, is our culture. We have a culture of integrity, teamwork, quality, and creativity, and it is, you know, it's all about our people. We are only as good as our people, and we have to constantly train them and set new goals for them and give them the leadership that they need and deserve. And I think that's one of the things that really makes us a very different company.
I'm here with Thomas with Docugraphics. He's one of our winners in the small company category. And Thomas, thank you for being here, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So I know things have been challenging with this year and COVID and business in general. Tell me a little bit about how you guys are handling that.
Be glad to. It was quite a ride. We were sailing strong and had all our plans laid out, strategy laid out, and then when COVID hit in mid-March, we were thrown a little curveball. So it was really important to us to keep the team together. And we made a strategic move at the beginning that we said, we're going to stick this out together. We're not going to do any changes as far as downsizing or changing of pay structure or anything. We wanted the team to feel secure at where they're at. And instead, we focused on learning new things and adjusting to the situation we were in. So we used the time that we had to train our tech team on new products and services. We expanded our portfolio into areas that we were always interested in getting into, but with the day-to-day business, there wasn't enough time to focus on some of those more strategic moves.
What type of things have you gotten into that you weren't doing in the past?
More investing into IT and building the service team. We've expanded the product line on the production side to incorporate additional products and services that our typical Xerox customer is using, but we haven't been offering before.
Well, that's great. And congratulations on your success. And thank you very much again for being here.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations to Evans General Contractors, a winner in the large company category. Unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, they were not able to join us here in the studio. We'd like to highlight some of the insights they shared with us at SC Biz News. When asked about the main driver of this year's revenue growth and changes in the industry, they said the e-commerce market continues to be strong, along with manufacturing growth as companies retrofit their facilities to accommodate the increase in online sales. Additionally, they expect life sciences to explode in the USA after the industry has dealt with supply shortages from the COVID pandemic. Evans General Contractors will continue to leverage their expertise in the distribution market to support logistics and storage needs for the life sciences market. Their business supports the strong push into life sciences manufacturing in South Carolina, with dedicated business development and operations professionals tied directly to that market. Congratulations again to Evans General Contractors. I'm here with Tim with Southeastern Institute. They're one of our winners in the small company category. Tim, thanks for coming today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Tell us a little bit about how you've had so much revenue growth over the last couple of years.
Well, I think first it starts with treating our students as family. We've also had growth in new programs. So we recently were approved for business and IT and radiological technology and sonography, so that certainly helps, but we just got approval for those. So I would say the biggest thing is just focusing on our customers and taking care of our students like they were family.
And has COVID impacted the business at all?
It's shifted it. It's been difficult to navigate just because we're so personal. We try to have high touch with our students to try to let them know that we understand what they're going through and try to work through that. So it's shifted instead of face-to-face conversations, now we're kind of having those Skype calls or going through with email and keeping them motivated and focused on their end goal, which is graduating and being successful within their field of study.
And how about managing talent? Is that a challenge? How's that changed over the last few years?
Managing talent is always an interesting task, right? Because typically talent is always looking for new opportunities. They're looking for ways to stay challenged. We've been very fortunate that when interviewing and looking for talent and finding right cultural fits, people that really truly have a passion for education, truly have a passion for helping people change their lives. And the first year I was there was pretty tough, and from that we've been able to build a really solid foundation to help us continue to grow year over year.
So how has your personal approach to leadership changed?
Well, I think as a leader, you got to consistently evolve to the people that you have around you. And, I'm a diehard Alabama fan, so Nick Saban's one of my guys that I just constantly, and for me, I try to focus on the day-to-day and what we can control on a day-to-day basis, and then looking forward to tomorrow and the next month. So not really focusing on the past, but learning from the past and moving forward.
Well, Tim, thank you again for coming in, and congratulations.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Our next winner is Broadband Infrastructure, Inc. They're one of our winners in the small company category. Brad, thanks for being here and meeting with us today.
Absolutely. It's definitely our pleasure to be here.
Well, we were talking earlier before we started filming, and I was interested in how you were able to get such growth over the last few years.
Well, multiple ways, really. I mean, the industry that we're in, being in telecommunications infrastructure, demand is just blowing up. And everybody should know, if you go to your own home, count how many devices you have in your house that are actually streaming. It's probably going to be, the average right now is around 20. Which people don't realize until you really start counting. So the demand there, and also in the commercial and government and industrial sectors, are equally as strong. So we're already in a really good market with great tailwinds. And then on top of that, part of what I did when I got into this in 2017 with this company is I wanted to focus on the government sector. I wanted to focus on the major telecoms. So we have really worked very, very hard of our sales team and our relationship folks to build those relationships and to get us prime with multiple telecoms, as well as Department of Defense and DOT.
That's terrific. So tell me, how has your approach to leadership changed as your company's grown?
Really, it's a combination over a lot of years. I've been doing this for quite a while through other companies. And I've definitely learned one of the most valuable lessons, which is to let good people do their job. And, early on for an entrepreneur especially, you tend to have your hands on everything. And that's tough to let go of. And I learned quite a few years back that you got to let people do the job. You hire good people, you trust in them, and you try to set direction, and you try to set strategy, and put policies, procedures, and such in place, but let people do their job. And if you do that and surround yourself with smarter people than you are, it's going to work out well for you. And that's one thing I definitely have learned. Then over the past year, it's been challenging as well, dealing with COVID and all that's been on with that, which has caused me to definitely have to always be very positive, be very calming to our employees as we've dealt with situations. So those things are probably the biggest things I've changed and grown as a CEO over all these years.
Well, Brad, thanks again for taking the time to have this conversation, and congratulations again on your inclusion in the Roaring Twenties.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to the event.
Our next company is Spencer Hines Properties. They're one of our winners in the large company category. Let's take a look at this brief clip that they sent us.
Hello everyone, my name is Andy Hayes. I'm with Spencer Hines Properties. I'm here with two of my partners, Ben Hines and Guy Harris. Our other partner, Lynn Spencer, couldn't be here today. First of all, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to participate in the Roaring Twenties Award Celebration. We as a company are very grateful for that opportunity.
So Andy, give us a fun fact that the world might not know about Spencer Hines Properties.
Well, I don't know how many of you have been to our office or are familiar with our office. If you ride by our office, it would appear to be an old house, an old home place that would have been renovated to be an office, and that really is sort of what it is. But the real backstory behind our office is that many, many years ago, it was originally a mortuary. And in fact, if you come to our office, we can take you up to the attic where you will see the actual crane that was used. There's a winch system up there that was used to hoist the caskets up to the second floor where you could view caskets. And so while we all work very long hours around here, After dark, we try to slip out of here, especially if you're by yourself. So I wouldn't suggest you hang around here alone for too late.
Okay, how about, and Ben, what changes do you see ahead in your industry and how are you reacting to them?
Great question, Jennifer. Starting back in 1986, when we started this company, there was no internet. There were no fax machines. We had tax map and books, tax books. But what's transpired over the years is obviously technology has just grown leaps and bounds. And so the changes we've seen is that you now can work virtually in many instances and are able to contact so many more clients and prospects through the advances of technology. I see it only getting more astute, better, and more defined. And I think we're, as a company, we're on that cutting edge, and that's our goal, to be on the cutting edge of all technology advancements.
Okay, and Guy, how do you build your team?
We have built the team, actually Ben and Lynn started the team back in 1986, and I was the third guy on. They had one gentleman there at the time, and I was the third guy on, and we have, I think, effectively built the team over that time by being selective in making sure that we have people that come in that we feel are a right fit, that have knowledge in the industry, that have knowledge in Spartanburg more than even in the industry. We can teach the industry side of it, but we want to make sure that they have knowledge of Spartanburg. And then we built the team by adding on Ben's brother and nephew in Greenville and opened a Greenville office back in, was it?
2015.
About 2015, 16. And they've grown a good team over there, which is, you know, now we're all under the same umbrella, being able to cover the entire upstate area. And I've expanded my own team by having children. I've had one of my sons who joined me back in 2015, and I've got another son that's now in the process of coming through who wants to join our team as well. But we've, over the years, been able to hire folks that have stayed here. Longevity, it's just been a good family atmosphere, and that's how we've tried to grow the team.
Well, thank you guys, and congratulations again on your nomination.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're here with Keaton. He's with Frampton Construction Company. They're one of our winners in the large company category. What was one of the main drivers of your revenue growth last year?
One of our main drivers was not to be on the defense with COVID. It was to be on the offense. And I know we're talking about even time before COVID, but it goes back to our core values of going with our clients. We want to align ourselves at Frampton with our clients who want to have growth. And that's what we do, is that we try to provide a value to them that's irreplaceable. It's on a different measurement scale in construction where our clients are experiencing the difference of what we can offer. So for us, it's aligning ourselves with clients who share that same vision, who have that same mentality that they want to continue to grow. No matter what obstacles throw at us, that's who we want to deal with. And that's kind of our core value of what we want to do, is to cater to those clients, for them to make us better and for us to make them better, and in turn, just growing a stronger relationship. So for us, the revenue will come. It's catering to our clients that we've had before and making sure that we cater to those new ones. And like I said at the beginning, it's making sure we're constantly on the offense instead of being on the defense.
Great. How has your personal approach to leadership changed as your company has grown?
So I've had that question asked a lot. Obviously, I'm a pretty young guy. So with us at Frampton, I always thought that it had to be the hardest you worked, and you had to be the first one here and the last one to leave. And it was all about just the effort that you put in. Well, what we found out is that you have growth when you align yourself with your team members that share your same vision. And as I've grown personally, it's that you align yourself with people who can make you better as well. And that's my goal, is as more of the leadership of the company, is making sure that we provide a platform for our team members here that everyone becomes better. We become better winning as a team rather than getting individual accolades. So for us, it's all about the team approach. And it sounds cliche, but I think me personally, what we've realized is you're only as strong as the team that you put in place. And in our industry and construction, whether it be building large projects or just the process procedures behind how you construct projects, it takes a team. And without a strong team, we're not really anything. So that's what I've learned is making sure I'm not the smartest in the room, making sure that I'm taking from other people.
Keaton, thank you again for meeting with us today, and congratulations again on your inclusion in the Roaring Twenties.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
We're here with Ceteris. They're one of our winners in the small company category, and congratulations to them on being a winner this year. Levi, thanks for being here.
David, it's great to be here.
Tell me a little bit about the growth you've experienced and how you were able to maintain that and sustain it.
Sure. So it's really an interesting story. Most of our history, we've started the company as myself and always tried to grow at a high rate, try to double every year, and we're pretty successful doing that for well over a decade. And the model was very much your standard pick a market, identify who you're selling to, and call them and market to them and tell them why what you're doing is great and why they need it. And it was relatively effective. We were able to grow and provide a lot of great services to a lot of phenomenal small business entrepreneurs who we target. But when I saw this question pop up on the list, and it really was something I thought would be worth sharing, because what the coronavirus pandemic and crisis did to small businesses had to completely shift how we go about selling and growing our business. And it was done not to focus on growing, but to focus on empowering the small business entrepreneurs that we get to work with and that are in the industries that we serve and that we take care of. So we shifted to we stopped calling, we stopped sending them marketing messages. We just started creating useful content. How to handle a crisis, how to get a PPP loan, what should you do, how do you adjust your budgeting, how do you deal with your staffing, just a bunch of stuff that we had the expertise to share and provide. And we stopped having our salespeople do this. We took our best service providers and started putting that content out in a variety of ways. We did blog posts and videos and live webinars with call-ins from entrepreneurs. And that, lo and behold, has actually driven incredible growth over the last 6 months by just being there to help and provide and share. And it was a massive team effort on the part of our entire team, most of whom have never had anything to do with growth or selling. They're service people, operations people, product people. And it's been awesome. It's been a really cool story in the midst of this crazy crisis that's a challenge for everyone. It's a huge challenge for the clients that we serve, but it's been an interesting kind of way that we've been able to focus on growth this year in that circumstance.
Well, that's very interesting, and it sounds like it's a great way to provide additional service to your clients as well. So tell me, how do you see the industry going forward over the next couple of years?
Yeah, so the industry we are in is, we call it automated accounting or done-for-you accounting with benchmark reporting for small business entrepreneurs. And so we've always been in the cloud. We've tried to say, your accounting should be a solution you expect, not a team that you manage. If you're a small business, you don't have the capacity to pick your software, pick your people, train them how to do everything. You just need the results. And that message resonated before to some extent, but there was a large degree of the way things have always been, where someone comes to your office or you go to your accountant's office and you just do things in a certain way. And the technological shift to more automated tasks, better reporting, better benchmarking, better data and analytics has kind of been something that's coming. I started the business in 2008. I thought by 2012 this would be pervasive. And here we are in 2020, and prior to March, I thought we probably had another decade until it was pervasive. Just the speed of change in the accounting industry, while it's always happening, it's been at a really slow and steady pace. And over the last literally 2 weeks after things started getting shut down in March, that pace of change just kicked off to a whole new level. Small businesses need more. They need it more real time. They need it in the cloud. They need to access it without going to someone's office. Accountants and professionals need to provide things, again, from their homes, from their home offices to their clients in a remote manner. So that shift to using the technologies that have been available for a while, but in the context of the professional accountant providing the consultation to a small business entrepreneur has really accelerated, and we're excited to be right at the crux, at the intersection of that change, I think, and many, many other companies and people are in the same spot. So that's kind of how we see it evolving.
Well, it sounds like it's a great time to be in your business. So thank you again for coming in, Levi, and congratulations on your being part of the Roaring Twenties. I wish you much success now and going forward in the future.
Huge shout out to our team that made it all possible, makes the growth possible, and thank you guys for empowering entrepreneurs every day. Thanks for letting me be here.
Thank you.
Mr. Shark thinks you are great! Thanks, team, for working so hard and getting us here, and for not making me crazy.
We wouldn't be here without you.
We did it! Hey, onboarding team, from myself and Piper, thank you for all your hard work and congratulations.
Thank you, Ceteris, for all your hard work.
Hey, I want to thank the financial consultants and the accounting teams for helping Ceteris grow.
Congratulations to Capital Waste Services, winner in our large company category.
Congratulations to High Spirits Hospitality. They're one of our winners in the small company category. They sent in this interesting video about their business. Please give it a look.
High Spirits Hospitality is more than just a business. We are an organization filled with creative and passionate individuals dedicated to providing exceptional hospitality-driven services for live events and security. I'm thrilled that we have been honored as one of South Carolina's Roaring Twenties. When I started on this journey of entrepreneurship 10 years ago, I didn't know where I would end up. Many years of blood, sweat, and tears have gone into creating this dream. It is hard to believe that such a simple business idea created in the back of my garage is now a multi-million-dollar enterprise. We have 5 independent brands, each one 100% owned by me. So it's awesome. We're women-owned. If there's one thing that I've learned from this experience, it's that nothing is certain and nothing is impossible. You may just have to take a different path to get there. Trust me when I say you have not heard the last of High Spirits Hospitality.
We're here with Big Red Box Coastal. They're one of our winners in the small company category. Gant, thanks for being here.
Absolutely, thanks for having us. It's quite an honor. So.
Great, well congratulations on your inclusion in the Roaring Twenties.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your industry and how things are going in the industry now.
Yeah, so we are in the waste management industry and primarily focused on construction. So 90% of our business is based around the construction industry. And recently we've kind of seen ticking back up. We saw a dip earlier in the year as most industries did because of coronavirus, but things really seem to be trending back upwards. So it's honestly as busy as ever. Last month was our second highest month in sales we've ever had. So things really seem to be getting back to normal.
That's great. And since you brought that up, what do you attribute your growth in revenue to?
I would really say this year you could nail it down to really our team just getting more experience. When we started out, a lot of our employees had no background in waste management, and so they're really kind of starting to find their groove, and we're just getting better with experience.
How has your personal approach to leadership changed since you've been successful in the business?
So I'd say it has changed drastically, and it continues to do so. This is actually the first time that I've ever really been in a leadership role. So it's constantly changing for me, but the biggest thing I would say is learning to delegate. As we grow and add new employees, it's harder and harder to be there to make each decision. So being able to delegate and trust who we have in place is the biggest thing that's changed for me, especially over the past year.
Well, great. Well, we appreciate you being here. It sounds like you got a great business, and congratulations on being included in the Roaring Twenties.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Our next winner is the Shelley Leak Law Firm. They're a winner in our large company category. I'm David Yesback with Sunbelt Business Brokers, the place to go to buy or sell a business. We're excited to be sponsors this year of the Roaring Twenties event. Congratulations to all the winners on a job well done in 2019, and the best of luck this year and each year going forward.
And our next event partner that I'd like to introduce to you, the commercial banking manager from Synovus, Reed Boehm.
I'm here with Brad from Accountfully. Brad, congratulations on winning the small company fastest growing in South Carolina this year. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about you and your company. So your website says that you pride yourself in being a non-traditional accounting firm. In what ways do you say you differ, and how does that contribute to your success?
Yeah, I think just by my kind of look and what I wear, you know, and the casual appearance of Meredith and I, who own Accountfully, my wife and I, we identified when we came from the corporate world and worked at a Big Four accounting firm and the traditional way of accountants and how they dress or how they operate, we realized that there was a different way to run a business from a culture standpoint. We really identified that there was a lot of accountants that just wanted a more kind of relaxed feel environment from the corporate world or from the traditional accounting firm, the traditional stereotypes of accountants, as we all know what they are. So essentially, we've created a more culture, I guess, focused firm where we look for great people who fit our culture, and then we can basically train them the Accountfully way from how we do technical accounting or how we operate our business or how we serve our clients. So I would say that's that. Additionally, when we launched Accountfully, we focused on being an outsourced accounting firm. The traditional CPA firms or tax firms, audit firms, well, we really identified how can we be an outsourced accounting firm where we are basically a fractional bookkeeper, controller, and CFO for small businesses. So by focusing on that and leveraging technology with cloud-based apps, we've really been able to kind of move forward and grow forward in kind of more of a non-traditional way.
That's great. You mentioned that you and your wife own the company. So how does your leadership style differ from her leadership style, and how do you all work together to manage the company?
It's a great question. When we started the company and had just a handful of people or a couple of people, I mean, it was tough because we were overlapping duties and responsibilities, and it became kind of really hard to operate. But once we started segmenting, this is your function and department, Brad, this is your function and department, and we started operating in that manner, it really helped us kind of move forward the business. So number one, it's really clear lines of delineation, responsibilities, and I would say from my perspective, I am much more of a risk taker. Let's move forward. Let's grow the business forward. I kind of lead the sales, more of a CEO, and let's move forward from that aspect. Whereas I don't really want to deal with the people aspect of the business, where my wife is really good at the people aspect of the business, oversees kind of the HR function as always has. Like when there's a difficult client, it's like, Meredith, you'd be a perfect fit for this person versus me. So we kind of identify what our real skill sets are from a leadership perspective, and we definitely have different leadership perspectives. I'm more hands-off, Meredith's more hands-on, but when you grow a business, you have various partners in the business, you have to understand what are each other's skills and best fits and push them forward in that manner.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Reed. Really appreciate it.
I'm here with Solon from Phi Life Sciences. Solon, congratulations on being named one of the fastest growing large companies in the state of South Carolina this year. I wanted to ask you, I know that your company has contributed to COVID testing and had a large impact on the environment that we're in right now. Tell me a little bit more about your contributions and what y'all are doing this year to help combat this.
Well, as you may know, we are a molecular diagnostic company. So we do molecular testing in cancer, medication management, and infectious disease. So we've been doing that since our creation 5 years ago. With that being said, obviously, high complexity laboratories, molecular diagnostics, have now become a household name. It's been a word that no one's really known about in the past, but now everyone knows about these laboratories doing it due to the pandemic that we're in right now. And so with that, we took that opportunity, and though our revenues will not be the same this year because they've been severely affected just like every other business in the nation, what we really wanted to do was, instead of going after these other tests that were paying high, or instead of stacking more tests on top of a COVID test, which a lot of companies are doing, we really wanted to narrow down and pinpoint COVID testing for South Carolina. So with that, we're working very closely with DHEC. We're working very closely with the South Carolina area is where we're getting 99% of our tests. We've had opportunities to take tests out of state, but again, we're in an atmosphere here where we want to grow South Carolina. Phi Life wants to grow South Carolina, and we really want to be a leading life science company here.
Well, thank you for that. I know this pandemic's been hard on everybody, so thank you for your contribution and your company's contribution. If there was one fun fact that people may not know about you, Phi Life Sciences, your leadership style, et cetera, what would that be?
I think that one of the things that people miss when they're creating a company is the teamwork, the family that you're creating. We have these startups and we put so much into them as owners and creators, but we forget about the people that we are growing here in our state. And so with that, I've taken a lot of pride in building what I like to call my family, outside of my family, with my people. We have a very low turnover rate. We actually want to grow our employees. We want them to feel like they have places that they are going within our job or in their future.
That's great, Solon. Well, once again, thank you for your time today, and congratulations on being named one of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina.
Thank you. We appreciate your time, too.
Congratulations to Southeast Industrial Equipment for being named one of the fastest growing companies in the state of South Carolina. Check out this quick clip that they sent in.
This is Becky Ammons with Southeast Industrial Equipment, and I'm here to introduce Tom Niles. Tom, what's your title with the company?
I'm the branch manager at our Florence, South Carolina location.
And what award did we just win?
The Roaring Twenties, one of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina.
Awesome. Okay, so I am going to ask you a couple questions, and you can feel free to answer at your leisure. One fun fact that the world may not know about your company.
We throw a Christmas party each year in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We have over 350 employees, and about 90% will attend with their significant others.
That's awesome. Okay, and what is the main driver of this year's revenue growth?
Well, Toyota's been the #1 selling forklift brand in the world for over 20 consecutive years, so that certainly helps us. So sales have been good, parts, service, and rental revenue have been good, despite all the challenges that we faced in the pandemic. The marketplace in Florence area was still very strong, and it wasn't too heavily impacted.
Great. How has your personal approach to leadership changed as your company has grown?
I felt that it's always important to have a personal approach with the employees, get to know something about them. So as I come across them throughout the workday, ask them how they're doing, what are their hobbies, things of that nature, always trying to have a personal touch.
Great. What changes do you see ahead in your industry, and how are you reacting to them?
One thing about the material handling industry is that no matter how bad the economy is, product always has to get moved. Right now it's shifting towards more automation. So auto-guided vehicles, taking an operator off of the moving machine and trying to move product through automation. We've already reacted to that. We have a specialist that can sell those products and is an expert in the industry.
Great. If you were giving advice to business owners or managers, what would be the 3 most important tips you would include?
Always be looking ahead. Industry's changing quickly. Get to know your employees, and always be recruiting. Always be recruiting.
And how do you build your team?
When we're hiring people, I like to look for the soft skills. I need a person that's going to be a fit into the organization. I know the personalities of the staff, and we can train the hard skills, but I can't train the soft skills. So I want somebody that's going to fit in with the team.
Great. Well, thank you so much and congratulations. And that will be all for today.
Thank you.
I'm with Don from Alder Energy Systems. Don, congratulations. Thank you for your time this morning on being named one of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina. Given the COVID pandemic, obviously I think your industry was probably considered essential. And so were y'all working throughout the pandemic, and how did you have to change your operating guidelines to keep team members safe?
That's a great question. So during the COVID, initial phases of COVID, we did shut the office down for office personnel, but our field personnel were able to work. We put a very strict safety protocol in place where only single individuals in any truck, for instance. If you had to be within 6 feet of someone in your work environment, you had to mask up. We put safety shields on the guys if necessary, at least gave them the option. But in general, especially when you're out in the open, and these guys do tend to work far apart from each other, they were pretty good, and everybody has been very safe, and no instances yet. So
that's great news.
Yeah.
Also, so in 2019, obviously one of the reasons you're being honored with this award was tremendous revenue growth. So what were some of the contributing factors of your growth in 2019?
Well, I mean, one of the obvious things is that solar is growing in general, so it's a growing marketplace. We did change up our mix a little bit. We had predominantly been a very large residential provider and smaller commercial, and we had kind of brought the residential down, picked up on the commercial, and then entered a new market called community solar, which is large-scale systems that are shared by a number of residential customers. You know, typical installation might be 15 acres of solar panels and 300 subscribers. So we don't do that here. We've actually branched out into other states as well. We started in South Carolina, and we grew to Georgia, North Carolina. Now we're up into Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So that's another big part of it, is just kind of a geographic growth strategy as well.
Great. Well, once again, thank you, and congratulations to you and your team in Alder Energy.
Well, appreciate it, and appreciate what SC Biz News is doing here. Thank you.
Thank
you. All right.
I'm here with Barry and Brent of 360 Clean. Barry and Brent, congratulations on being named one of the fastest growing companies in the state of South Carolina for 2019. The first question I wanted to ask to Brent is, obviously with the industry that you're in and COVID and the pandemic that we're in right now, was there anything cool, exciting? How did y'all gear up with cleaning equipment? Did y'all have to purchase anything new, et cetera?
I think the great thing about us is we came into the space, we focus on the health grade cleaning already. So a lot of our accounts in the early years were in the medical space. So we're cleaning a lot of hospitals, medical grade cleaning. And a lot of our equipment was centered around that through our JaniMed system. So we were doing that since the beginning in 2005 all the way to 2009, 10, 11, 12. So that's been really our founding has been on that medical grade cleaning. So we were already used to that type clean. We had all the chemicals, all the hardware, things like that. So the good thing about us is we didn't really have to turn on a dime with purchasing, equipment, medical grade, disinfectants, things like that. The biggest difference for us, I think, was we had to purchase, or some of our people purchased those foggers. The electrostatic cleaning became a big deal. So that's really the only thing we had to turn on a dime, is learn that space. But I think the great thing about us is we were already there with the JaniMed cleaning and the medical grade cleaning, so we were just used to it as another day for us.
Great. Sounds like y'all are already set up and prepared to rock and roll. So the next question I had was, obviously you're in this seat and you've been given this award because of 2019 revenue growth, but obviously once again with the pandemic, the frequency of cleaning that your customers are having to do y'all expect exponential growth in 2020 as well?
We do. I mean, there was certainly a time where there were certain types of businesses that were closing due to COVID. But as that became, things started opening back up, what we were seeing was an increase in frequency. Let's say an office was getting cleaned 3 days a week. They were realizing, hey, we need to have 5 day per week cleaning. The other side of that is, as Brent was mentioning, with our JannyMed system, which has always been health focused and does a lot of the things that you need to do to prevent COVID, but not only just prevent it, but also prevent germs and other types of infections spreading through a facility. That's become a lot more awareness with that. So obviously when we're marketing and doing those type things, people are listening, but they're not just listening, they're understanding. So it's made things a lot more top of mind. So certainly that's going to help as far as revenue growth. But again, you hate to see any type of pandemic like this happen. But if there's anything positive for us that comes out of it, it's our marketing message that we've had for 15 years is certainly getting heard, but more than likely getting understood a lot better.
Great. Well, thank you both for your time this morning, and once again, congratulations. It's an honor to be here.
Thanks.
Congratulations to Crescent Homes for being named one of South Carolina's fastest growing companies. Here's a quick video that they sent in.
I'm Ted Terry. I'm the founder and CEO of Crescent Homes. We've always been really good at building homes and neighborhoods that people want to live in the locations where they want to live. We've been able to scale that. We've got a team that's totally bought in to growing but maintaining what's always made us great all the way back to the beginning.
How has your personal approach to leadership changed as your company has grown?
Well, I think that in order to grow, you've got to be able to relinquish some control at some point. That's something I used to wear a lot of different hats and manage all aspects of our business. And over time, that became impossible if we wanted to grow. I think the keys to that are to hire a great team that you can rely on. You got to give them a program that they believe in, that they're bought in on, a vision that motivates them, and you've got to trust the people to take you to the next level.
What management advice would you be giving to another owner?
I would tell them don't spread yourself too thin. Focus on what you're really good at. Invest in a great team that you can trust, and always keep your customer in mind in everything you do. The end user in mind with everything.
What's something the world may not know about your company?
Several years ago, we created our GIVE program in order to give back to the community and shed some light on local charities. Today, we've given over $250,000 to over 30 different charities through our GIVE program in Charleston, South Carolina.
We have Christina and Chad with Catch Talent. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I want to first congratulate you both for being awarded one of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina. So I had a few questions for you today, and Christina, I think I'll start with you. If you were going to be giving advice to a small business owner or an entrepreneur, what would 3 important tips would you give them?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Reed, and thank you for the opportunity. I would say for us, and I think a lesson for us, something I would provide as advice or just recommendations to other business owners or managers would be, to really be selective of your team, just that core team when you're starting out, and also the clients and partners that you select, during that time. So that would be number 1. And then the second would be to just always move forward, right? I mean, being an entrepreneur and a business owner can be like a roller coaster, a lot of highs and then sometimes there are those valleys as well. So to just keep your eye on the long term and that it's a marathon. So we have as one of our core values that, to always look forward and to gain experience from things that have happened in the past, but not to dwell on them.
In addition to that, I think we always advise people to be agile and flexible in all aspects of your business. Something we learned from going through the technology companies that we came from previously was to be able to pivot and to change and to be agile. And that's from everything from your business model to how you operate your office to how you engage with your team.
Thanks, Chad. You mentioned a few key words there, such as flexible, pivotal, agile, and obviously this year has been a year that you need all of those things with the pandemic that we are in. And so from changes in your industry, given the pandemic and any other circumstances, how do you see your industry changing going forward?
Well, we're in the business of hiring, so a lot has changed on that front. And we really feel like we've embraced being the subject matter experts in remote hiring. And that is really going to be changing our industry and many industries that maybe previously didn't embrace remote workforce. So I think it's going to move to a hybrid, but that from my perspective is going to be a really big change from the talent landscape and how companies hire.
I think there will also be an addition of lots of artificial intelligence and technologies that are going to come along to really enhance what recruiting agencies and hiring can be, what can be done with it. However, that human element will always be a big part of the business, and that's something that will never change.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Christina and Chad, thank you both for your time today, and once again, congratulations to each of you, your teams, and Catch Talent on this great award.
Thank you so much, Reed.
I'm here with Rob from USI Insurance Services. Rob, congratulations being named one of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina. If you don't mind, I just wanted to ask you a few questions. And first, sure. I know that you are the practice leader for USI Insurance Services here in Charleston. And so one thing I wanted to ask you is what is your personal approach to leadership, and how does that help contribute to your success in this market?
Right. I think one of the most important things, especially with USI, and I see this from the top down, not just with me, is we've got to be willing to go into the field and do what we're asking other people to do. It just seems like, unfortunately, there's so many companies out there right now that leaders are wanting to stay behind the desk and not roll up their sleeves and go out in the field with the producers and the staff. So I think one of the things that have helped us be very successful is just willing to go out and do what we're asking others to do, lead by example. We're constantly asking them to learn new products, learn new messaging. And if I'm not willing to do that, then how can I ask my staff to do that? So it's really more of, lead by example and willing to roll up your sleeves and meet with our clients. We make a lot of promises in our industry, and, we need to make sure that our clients see leadership standing behind those promises.
Absolutely. Now, Rob, you mentioned the word change a few times, and obviously there's been some changes that we've all had to combat this year with the pandemic, and we all know that all of our different industries are changing constantly. So how can you say that your insurance has changed, not necessarily by COVID in particular, but what changes have you seen in your industry over the years, and what changes do you expect to see in the coming years?
Right. COVID obviously definitely has brought a lot of changes to our industry, but even before COVID, one of the things that we're seeing is a lot of acquisitions, a lot of companies merging together, and it's been very hard trying to find young people to come into our business. And when we do bring young people into the business, our industry has not done a great job of training them and giving them the tools and the access to be successful. And one of the things that we have done is really gone, arm in arm and along side by side with our young producers to give them the tools to be successful. We're constantly hiring people in our industry. We see a lot of people right now because of COVID, they've actually quit hiring. And in the last year, we've actually brought on 5 new producers. and we're always looking to hire. So, I think the one thing, that we're trying to address with change is to bring young people in, give them the tools to be successful, and the support, the education, and the knowledge, because our industry just has not done a good job with that.
Great. Well, it's great to hear that the insurance industry, your industry, is hiring folks at a time where a lot of industries are not hiring additional workforce. So once again, thank you for your time this morning, Rob, and congratulations to you and your team at USI Insurance Services on this great award.
Well, we thank you. We're very honored to be part of this.
We have Josh and Lena from MedTrust Holdings with us here. Josh and Lena, congratulations on being nominated for this wonderful award and being named as one of the fastest growing large companies in South Carolina. I'm going to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. The first question, I'll start with Josh. And Josh, it's if you had 3 things or tips of advice that you could give to a small business owner or an entrepreneur looking to go out on their own, what would those 3 tips be?
I think the most important thing is to understand your why, understand the purpose. It's really easy to work hard when things are going well, but you have to know and understand and have kind of a united vision of why the company exists to begin with. So I'd say understanding the why and making sure the entire team is united in that pursuit is number 1. For me, number 2 is probably in the team itself. No company can grow and win awards like this by themselves. Not Lena and I individually, but really that united group and a diverse group that challenges each other would be the second. And then I think the third is truly understanding the financial drivers of your business. All businesses are different. They all have different financial drivers, and understanding how to navigate and use the financial part of the business to support the why. Is probably the third largest thing for me.
Lena, would you have anything to add?
Well, I think you hit on it. It's really about being persistent, understanding where you want to go, set that vision, and really be persistent. Because there are lots of up and downs as you're starting a business. And if you keep focus on where you're going, I think that gets you through all kinds of things, good and bad.
Absolutely, thank you. And then second, Josh, I hear that there might be some fun fact that you want to share about you or the company in general.
So we have a very diverse leadership team and executive team with all sorts of interests outside of EMS, and so I think it's kind of funny to reflect on that. So we have a leadership team of 5, an executive team of 5, and we all have an interesting fact. So me personally, I sang in a 16-male a cappella group at Clemson and love music and still do lots of things with music, play the harmonica and aspiring guitar a little bit. We have another member of the team that is a female angler. She loves being on the water, and from Ohio, we converted her to a South Carolinian, so she loves that. Have a third person on the team who is actually a classically trained opera singer. Fourth person on the team that is surfs probably 4 days a week. In a business that's 24/7, it's kind of hard to find that time, but that's the calm. And a golfer. And then Lena, I'll let you talk about yours because it's interesting.
Oh, well, not that interesting, but in my second career, I'd like to be an architect. So it's something that I'm kind of spent some time thinking about, but if I have a second career, it'll be in architecture somewhere.
Well, it's good to know what you want. If you ever want to do something different, it sounds like everybody's got hobbies that they kind of maintain that work-life balance. So
right.
Once again,
it's important for our success in that we bring such diverse views from different industries, and I think that's part of our story.
Correct.
So.
Absolutely. Well, Lena and Josh, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And once again, congratulations to MedTrust, you all and your entire team on this award.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
I'm here with Matt from Matt O'Neill Real Estate. Matt, congratulations on being named one of the fastest growing small companies in South Carolina this year. I wanted to ask you first off, with COVID and how that's affected the real estate market, it seems that inventory's down, but things still seem to be moving. People are looking for homes. Can you talk a little bit about that, how it's been so far this year?
Yeah, Reed, thank you, man. I'm so happy and honored to be here. In April, when COVID hit, we thought that the real estate industry was going to come to a screeching halt, that home sellers wouldn't want this potential virus coming into their home, and that buyers were going to sit tight and everybody was going to lose their jobs. And we really planned for the worst. And for the year to turn out the way that it is, this is our best year ever, was really great for us. And I can tell you what happened is people got into their homes, were homeschooling, working from home, and they realized they needed a bigger space. And then the interest rates were so low that this buyer demand was just extremely high. And they weren't traveling, they weren't eating out, they had all this extra money. And so all these buyers wanted more homes. And that really is what propelled the housing market.
Interesting. Also, I wanted to ask you if there was one fun fact that you could tell about yourself or your company, or your leadership style, what would that be?
So we love to have fun at our office, for sure. Every day there's a different style of music on that's just chosen by whoever cares to choose the music. Today it's Van Halen. And that's a good way to start the morning.
Absolutely.
But every quarter we take a day off to volunteer for charity and then have fun in the afternoon. So we've sorted food at the food bank. We've served food at 180 Place. We've cleaned really nasty kitchens. We've delivered Meals on Wheels. And then we always do something that's really cool. So we've gone zip lining and we've got massages. So it's a way for us to give back and then also give back to ourselves the same day.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it sounds like you have fun, but also give back to the community. Well, Matt, once again, thank you for your time today, and congratulations on being named one of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina.
Appreciate it, Reed.
I'm here with Rick from Stantec Consulting Services. Congratulations on being named one of the fastest growing large companies in the state of South Carolina. Looking back at 2019, what was the main driver in y'all's revenue growth that got you here today?
Well, thank you. First of all, it's quite an honor to receive this award, and everybody at Stantec is very much appreciative of that. So thank you for recognizing that. 2019 was a good year for us, as we all know. Of course, we are engineering services and landscape architecture services here locally. Of course, the economy was a good economy. That doesn't always hurt anything. But really, I think our growth deals with the people that we have. We have an excellent staff, outstanding really in terms of their skills and capabilities, and really good problem solvers. And that's really what allows us to be a good service provider in the engineering field.
Rick, speaking of your team, how did you build your team? How do you attract your talent and retain talent?
Well, we think that's the most important thing in our industry is good people, good staffing. And we really have 4 tenets based upon that of how we build our team, and that is, and they're on the conference room wall, so everybody reminded of that. First off is we put people first. Our employees are first in how we do business, and we think that's important to our clients as well. Secondly, we have a tenet that we work better together in terms of working as a team, and not just this office, but other offices throughout the state and really the Southeast. So that's very important to us as well. The third tenet is we do what's right. Ethics, engineering ethics, and business ethics very high on our list, and we think that's important. And finally, we're driven to achieve is the last tenet, and that means both in terms of our designs as well as our profitability. So those are the 4 tenets, and served us well so far.
Great. So obviously 2020 has brought about its own challenges. What challenges have you seen in your industry thus far, given the pandemic, and what challenges do you see going forward?
Well, the pandemic, really we've responded better to that than I expected in terms of working from home remotely, moved into that fairly seamlessly. We're beginning now to do a phase 1 reentry to our office. But one of the big challenges we see beyond the COVID is really other environmental factors. We design infrastructure, and the climate change and other environmental factors are something that really is changing our industry. And rather than fight that, we're kind of embracing it and looking at how we can do a better job of designing infrastructure, whether it's a neighborhood street or whether it's a park or some other thing. How can we do it to really work better within the environment?
Great. Well, thank you again, Rick, for your time. And once again, congratulations to you and your team and Stantec Consulting.
Well, thank you very much, South Carolina. Thank you for South Carolina Biz.
Absolutely. We have Brian from A3 Communications with us today. Brian, congratulations on this fantastic award for being nominated or awarded as one of the fastest growing large companies in the state of South Carolina. I wanted to ask you a few questions today. And the first question, as you have grown and your company has grown, how has your approach to leadership changed over time?
Well, first of all, Reed, thank you. We're very honored, myself and my entire team are very honored to receive this award. And that's also a very good question. So, you know, a lot of things change as a company grows. And I would say that personally, I've had to learn to let go and empower those around me. Leaders of startups and small businesses often wear multiple hats in their business and have a difficult time of letting go of some responsibilities. The problem that this very often creates is that every time it actually stagnates not only the company's growth, but also the team members around you. So learning to empower your people and give them the power to make decisions and take over critical tasks is an instrumental key to growing a business. One of the things that we very often say at A3 Communications is always look to replace yourself at every level of the business. So whether you're a field technician, an accounting staff member, you're in sales, you're in leadership, always look to replace yourself, and you will do well in business.
Great. Thank you, Brian. And obviously 2020, amid a pandemic, there's been a lot of changes. So far this year and then on into the future, what changes can you anticipate in your industry and how do you combat them to recognize the same success going forward?
Yeah, Reed, you know, being in the systems integration industry, you know, we have received this question multiple times over this past year, as we're dealing with this international pandemic. And you know, as far as how our industry has changed, you know, all of our technicians, as an example, our engineers, our project managers, they're still in the field, and they have been in the field conducting projects and doing service calls throughout this pandemic. So I would say that has been consistent, but how we look in the field is very different. Obviously, social distancing, making sure that when we're actually in these buildings, that we ensure that we don't have folks that are showing any kind of symptoms of being sick, that they're actually wearing masks in the field, which can be, you know, challenging for some of our people that are working in some hot buildings that don't have heat and air in them yet. And then also, you know, just in our office environment, you know, today in this call, I'm actually sitting in my home office. So, you know, some of the things that we have tried to implement to make sure that things stay as normal as possible is that we look to communicate as much as possible, whether that's internally or also with our customers, because one of the things that can happen is that you lose that culture, that morale, if you're not in an office together, you know, high-fiving and patting each other on the back, saying good job, and really influencing one another to really have that passion every day. So I would say, you know, what we have done to try to combat that is really just make sure that we're constantly communicating with one another, that we're constantly communicating with our customers and making sure that we're adding value where we can, and just ensuring that we're looking for the technology solutions out there today that can add value to our customers as they do return to the workplace or as students return to school, that we are providing those technology solutions that can help businesses and education and government return safely.
Well, as you probably know better than anybody, communication's key. So Brian, thank you again for your time, and congratulations to you and your team and all of A3 Communications.
My pleasure, Reed. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
I'm here with Pat from KCon. Pat, congratulations to you and your team for being awarded one of the fastest growing companies in the state of South Carolina. I'm going to jump into a few questions. The first question, I believe you had told me that you were a family-owned company that started in 1985, so obviously you've got quite a bit of experience. So if you were going to give any advice to small business owners or entrepreneurs looking to do the same thing, what would 3 important tips or advice be?
Well, number one, focus on the numbers. I think that's something that, if I'd have paid a little bit more attention to that early on, it would have made an earlier difference or better difference for us. Number 2 is build a team. Make sure you got the best team on board that you can. And number 3 is kind of what we live by, is make life easy. Not only for your customers, but for, in our case, subcontractors, suppliers, our clients, and then people that you work with, your team members. If you're focused on doing that, if you're always looking to try and figure out how to make life easy for them, it's going to pay back. And it also kind of sets up a situation where everybody's working together on that one goal.
Absolutely. Pat, you mentioned something about building a team, and with all the years experience, how do you go about building your team and attracting talent, retaining talent?
Wow. Again, over the years and everything, learned quite a bit. And I think one of the things that's really made a difference here lately in putting together a great team, which we're blessed to have, is kind of focusing more on aptitude instead of what they've done in their background or their past experiences. You're interested in seeing how they overcome challenges and how you can benefit them personally, and then in turn, hopefully, how they'll benefit the team. So it's kind of a focus on that.
Absolutely. Well, Pat, once again, thank you for your time, and congratulations to KCon
Thank you.
And your whole entire team.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Reed Boehm, and I'm with Synovus Bank in Charleston, South Carolina. We are a regional full-service banking institution focusing on driving community relationships with many of the companies that we have seen here today. On behalf of all of Synovus, I want to thank Grady and SC Biz for putting this event on. It is a pleasure being a part of it each and every year, and I look forward to continuing the relationship and partnership we have with them in the future. Congratulations to all of these companies, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the countdown of the fastest growing companies in South Carolina. We'll start with the small company category. Coming in at number 20 is Exacqio, now a Roaring Twenties honoree for 2 years in a row. At 19, and a first-time winner, is Gen X Security Solutions. Number 18, Matt O'Neill Real Estate, returns to the rankings after being on the 2017 list. At 17 is 360 Clean, which is back in the rankings for the first time since 2015 and has the most years on the small company list among this year's group, with 5 wins overall. A Roaring Twenties winner in 2018 and 2019, Intellectual Capital is the number 16 small company and ranked for the 3rd straight year. At number 15, Big Red Box Coastal is a first-time honoree. Also a first-time winner, at number 14, Crawford Strategy. At number 13, and continuing the run of first-time winners, is High Spirits Hospitality. Southeastern Institute is our 12th ranked small company and is also a first-time honoree. Number 11, Kantech Consulting, also a 2019 recipient. Starting our top 10 small companies, Catch Talent is on the list for the first time. Another first-timer at number 9, Lee & Associates, Greenville, Spartanburg. Ceteris Incorporated comes in at number 8 and is ranked for the 2nd straight year. Number 7 is Pintail Capital Partners, ranked for the first time. The 6th ranked small company is Accountfully, also a first-time winner. And now we reach the top 5. At number 5 is Docugraphics, in for the 4th year overall and 2nd year in a row. Upstate Granite Solutions is our number 4 company and is being honored for the first time. Number 3, KCon Incorporated, a 3-time honoree back in the rankings for the first time since 2006. And now it's down to the last 2. Drumroll, please. At number 2, Alder Energy Systems, honored for the 3rd time and also ranked in 2017 and 2018. The number 1 small company in South Carolina, Roaring Twenties, is Broadband Infrastructure, which was also on the list in 2019. Congratulations to all of our small companies this year. Moving on to our large company category. The Office People starts the Roaring Twenties large company list at number 20. They were also honored in 2017. At number 19, Capital Waste Services, a first-time winner. At number 18, Southeast Industrial Equipment was also a 2017 honoree. Our 17th ranked large company is A3 Communications, a 5-time honoree and back on the list for the first time since 2018. Shelley Leak Law Firm, also a 5-time winner, returns to the list at number 16, following its 4-year run from 2015 to 2018. Number 15 is Canty Foundation Specialists, ranked for the 4th consecutive year, the longest active streak among this year's winners. On the list for the first time at number 14 is USI Insurance Services. Maven Construction returns to the rankings for the first time since 2017 at number 13. At number 12, MedTrust Holdings is a first-time Roaring Twenties honoree. Number 11 is Mashburn Construction, also a first-time winner. We've reached our top 10. Our top 10 large companies start with Langston Construction of Piedmont, back on the list after being ranked in 2018. Stantec Consulting Services is our number 9 company and is on the list for the first time. Number 8, Evans General Contractors is also a first-time honoree. Crescent Homes is our 7th ranked large company and holds the distinction of the most listings of all this year's honorees with 7. Number 6, Samet Corporation starts a string of 5 straight first-time winners, down to 5. And coming in at number 5 is Triangle Construction Company. At number 4 among large companies is Logisticus Group. Our number 3 company is Spencer Hines Properties. And we're down to the last 2. Let's get a drum roll and a bit of fanfare. For number 2, Phi Life Sciences rounds out first-time winners. And at number 1 in the large company category, returning to the list for the first time since 2017, Frampton Construction.
Congratulations to our Roaring Twenties honorees. 2020 is a year unlike any other, and we salute all South Carolina companies for their resilience and adaptability in what has been an incredibly challenging and daunting economic environment. And thanks to all of you viewers for virtually attending. We hope to be back together and celebrate in person for 2021. And please join us virtually December 3rd for Healthcare Heroes, SC Biz News' annual salute to frontline healthcare workers in the Charleston region. See you soon.